Hare Krishna, everyone. So we'll be starting with the class. Okay. So let me share the 13th chapter PPT. So
keep it here now.
Hare Krishna, someone was speaking something. Okay. Let us start the class. Okay. So today we'll be dealing with the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So before starting the class, so till now we have covered 12th chapters. Okay. And we see that in the 10th chapter, okay, that when Krishna says the Chaturshloki, after that Arjuna accepts that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and also maybe according to his desire he even shows the Vishwaroop. And in the 12th chapter we see that there is topics about Bhakti Yoga. Okay. And you know that Bhakti Yoga is the ultimate stage. Okay. So now see, as Krishna has explained everything that leads to Bhakti Yoga, which is the ultimate stage, why should now Bhagavad Gita even continue? Because see, Arjuna has accepted Krishna as the God. Okay. So since he has accepted, so he will also accept his orders that, he should fight the war and all those things. Then next is that he has also explained the process of Bhakti Yoga. That is the ultimate stage, means like uh, we see in the ladder of yoga, lowest there is Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. And Bhakti Yoga is the highest among that ladder. Okay. And Krishna has explained about Bhakti Yoga. And also Arjuna has accepted Krishna as the supreme personality of God. So now actually, why should Bhagavad Gita even continue? Because the entire thing which were necessary and important were already discussed in the previous chapters. Anybody wants to try? It's not, it's fine if it's wrong. Okay, no problem. Was it like Arjuna wasn't satisfied with the message of Lord Krishna? Hare Krishna. Am I audible? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna. Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So let us see why. So basically, see, all these things Krishna has explained, Bhakti Yoga and all. But for a common man who is living in this material world, he has to do his duties also and so many things. So that's why we see that, see, even though he has explained the stage of Bhakti Yoga, but it's not that easy for a common man to reach that stage of Bhakti Yoga, because there is responsibilities, there is material things that attract you back to the material world, and many things. So that's why for a common man to understand the things, therefore this Bhagavad Gita has been continued. And now we are entering into the last last section, like last section or the last module of these chapters. That's the last 6 chapters. So we have explained that, see, first 6 chapters primarily talk about Karma Yoga. Then 7 to 12 chapters talk about Bhakti Yoga, and 13 to 18 chapters talk about Jnana Yoga. Okay. So it's like, as I explained you before also, that it's like a sandwich or a burger. If you have seen that, the main stuffing or the main, thing which why everybody eats the burger is because of the cheese and the stuffing present between the buns. Okay, if someone gives you raw buns, okay, nobody would like to eat. But if it's in the form of burger where there is stuffing also, there is cheese also, then we see that it becomes very tasty. So similarly, 7 to 12 chapters, that's why are the most important chapters, because they are the middle layer, the creamy layer of the Bhagavad Gita. But after that also, but buns are still important. Nobody will give you a raw slice of cheese or stuffing and call it burger. Okay, so therefore these chapters are important as well, but the most important chapters were those chapters which you learned from the 7 to 12 chapters. And now we are entering the last section of the Bhagavad Gita, that is chapters 13 to 18. Okay, there is a lot of information and lot of things which we are going to learn in these chapters. Okay, so let us start the class. Okay, arjuna uvacha arjuna uvacha prakritim purusham chaiva kshetram kshetragnam evacha etad veditumicchami jnanam gneyam cha keshava. Anybody? Okay, no. Shri Bhagavan uvacha idam shariram kaunteya kshetram ityabhidhiyate etad yo vetitam prahu kshetragnya iti tadvitaha. Yes. Anybody would like to read the translation?
Prabhuji. Arjuna said, "Oh my dear Krishna, I wish to know about Prakriti, nature, Purusha, the enjoyer, and the field, and the knower of the field, and of knowledge, and the end of knowledge." The blessed Lord then said, "This body, O son of Kunti, is called the field, and one who knows this body is called the knower of the field." Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Okay. There's nothing. Okay. So basically, what does Arjuna ask that, what is this Prakriti, what is Purusha, and all these things. Okay. So you might not understand, like, what is this, all these things which they are, with what is going on between Krishna and Arjuna. They are talking about field, knower of field. What is all these things? Okay. So let us understand. Okay. So whenever you see, whenever there is a piece of land, okay, there is a person who owns that land. Okay, so land. So and then there is also a person. Okay, suppose let us say the revenue collector. Okay, the one who collects all the revenue from the places. So he has to collect taxes according to the amount of land, the amount of soil that he produces, and everything, and the amount of crops that he produces, and everything. Okay, so there is let us say there is a revenue collector who knows about all the fields. Okay, because he needs to have all the information about every field. Okay, so that he can take the taxes and charge taxes accordingly. Okay, so he can be called the knower of all the fields in that particular area. Okay, so similarly, see, our body can be our the prakriti, or the nature, material nature, from which we have gotten this material bodies. Okay, and that the basically all the material things are basically called as the field. Okay, means our body, then all the trees, everything that is present in the nature, the material element, the gross elements which are present in the nature, can be called as the field. Okay, now there is one knower of the field. Means, suppose you know very well about your body. Okay, suppose you are suppose that you feel some pain, okay, in some part of body, then you will easily able to identify. First, you will only be able to identify that I am feeling pain over here, so you are the knower of your own body. Okay, but there is as I told, there is a person who knows all the fields, like the revenue collector. So similarly, in everybody's hearts, along with the soul, there is also the super soul, which is Lord Krishna, or the supreme personality of Godhead himself, present in each and everybody's living entity's hearts, and he is knowing about everybody. Okay, no, not only your body, not only his body or her body, everybody's body, whether it's lion, animal, or smallest of the smallest ant also. So therefore Krishna resides in everybody's body, as in the hearts, as Paramatma or the super soul. Okay, so therefore you can say compare super soul to be the knower of all the fields. Okay. Yes, let's understand. So this in this purport, Srila Prabhupada has explained just like that. These are Kshetra, Kshetragna, and Kshetragneya. Okay, Kshetra is the person, is the field. Kshetragnya is the owner of the field, means the knower of the field, and Kshetragneya uh, is the knower of all the fields. Okay, so Kshetra is the body. Kshetragna is the owner of the body, which is the soul, and there is Kshetragneya, which is the super soul or Paramatma, which knows about everybody's bodies. Okay. So who are we? Are we body or soul? Who is the enjoyer? What is nature? And what is knowledge? These were the Arjuna's questions. Okay. Now let us understand by the further verse. Kshetragnam chapi vam vidhi sarva kshetresu bharata kshetra kshetragnayori jnanam yatta jnanam matam mama. Somebody, can you please
Sri
read
Krishna Prabhuji, O Scion of Bharata, you should understand that I am also the power in all bodies, and to understand this body and its owner is called knowledge. That is my opinion. Now, please hear my brief description of this field of activity and how it is constituted, what its changes are, whence it is produced, who the knower of the field of activities is, and what his influences are. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So as I told you, the Paramatma is the knower in all the bodies. Okay, and to now see the what is knowledge. Knowledge is when you understand the distinction between the body and the soul. Okay, that is real knowledge. Okay, so nowadays, we receive knowledge about about material things. Now see, all this knowledge that you receive in the school, I'm not saying it is not knowledge. It is knowledge that is required, because for basic subsistence or basic livelihood, to earn a basic livelihood and to earn a little bit of money and get employment, you need to have this basic knowledge. All these things which you are learning in school, that will help you for earning a basic livelihood and satisfying the needs of your body. Okay, but along with that, you need to have a knowledge that it's not that that the life is only about satisfying the desires and the needs of your body. It's that you have to fulfill the desires of the soul, and our soul naturally, as Lord Chaitanya says, that uh, uh, everybody is Krishna's servant. Okay, naturally everybody is Krishna's servant. So the soul's requirement is performing bhakti yoga and attaining bliss from that, and that can be attained by simply by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Okay, now Krishna will be explaining all the other things, that how this it is constituted of what it changes uh, when it is produced, and the knower of field of activities, and what is this influences are. Okay, now these slides talk about that. See, in the young age, many people think that we should not perform bhakti yoga. Why we should think about all these implementing good habits and everything. Okay, so now what is why it is important? Because see, if you have an habit starting from the young age, then you can even continue in the old age. Suppose, let us say, there is a person, okay, who has done all kind of sinful activities throughout the life. Okay, so now and at the end, and he thinks that at the end of his old age he will perform bhakti yoga and basically he will destroy all his sins, and then he will go back to Godhead. Okay, entire life he is doing, but what is the guarantee that he will even live till the old age? What is the guarantee that uh, uh, you know what is the guarantee that he will remember and start performing devotional service? Because see, if you, let us say, the entire since so many months, okay, let us say for 2 to 3 months you are you are addicted, or you want to play a game, so you are playing a game for so many hours, okay, and suddenly someone tells you that now you should not even touch the gadget, you should not even you know you should not even play the game. Okay, okay, let us say physically you might be avoided from it, but still your mind will always go there. Oh my god, can I play the one game? Every time your mind will be going there. So similarly, a person who has performed sinful activities, his mind and his mentality will completely change, and because of that he will feel to do that sinful activity again and again, and those sinful activities may will have a bad effect on him in future. That's why it is important to have a to attain good habits from the young age itself. Like, see, you can see there are many young kids in ISKCON who have uh, who have taken to this path of devotional service as a very tender age. Okay, so that is that's a really good thing, and in the future they will become they will become pure souls, and because of that they will be able to attain the supreme destination, that is going back to Godhead very easy. Okay, bad habits lead to bad behavior, and behavior can even lead to bad effects. Okay, like some people have done uh, some people they have been overusing drugs and all those things, and because of that they will have to suffer in jail for so many years. So therefore it is very important that from young age only you implement good habits. Okay, and okay, this we have already read. Real independence means complete faith in the mercy of Lord without dependence on the conditions of matter. Okay. Now these are the various stages, okay, or various levels, okay, of consciousness. Okay. One is Annamaya, okay. This is a sensual platform, okay, where you only think that if I can get basic needs of food and all, I am a person is only worried about the basic needs of food. Okay, that if I get, then there is Pranamaya. This is the bodily platform where you think that uh, I should have good food, and I should be having a healthy body. Okay, that's it is enough for my life. Okay, and you will be easily satisfied. Okay, then there is Jnanamaya, which is mental platform. That time you start thinking about that mentally also I have to improve myself, and or you start thinking that uh, am I actually this body? You get so many questions, you become more and more inquisitive, and you try to seek for answers, and that's how you start gaining knowledge. Okay, so that is Manomaya. Okay, Vijnanamaya, that is the intellectual platform, or the level of intelligence, where you start when by the mercy of the Supreme Lord you start reading the Shastras, you start understanding various things, that we are not the body, we are the spirit soul. What is body, how it is uh, how it is produced, then how the how we are related to, how is our relation with the God, and how we should keep a relationship with the God, and all those things. What is the material nature? That is the platform of intellectual platform, where you start understanding all these things. And Anandamaya is the spiritual platform. In this spiritual platform, you are by the virtue of this knowledge, you start performing bhakti yoga, and because of that you get ultimate bliss. Okay, and that is why it is called Anandamaya. Anand means bliss, so spiritual platform is Anandamaya. Okay, so there are 5 types of platform: Annamay, that's the sensual platform. Pranamay, which is the bodily platform. Jnanamay or Manomay is the mental platform. Vijnanamay is the intellectual platform. And Anandamay is the spiritual platform. Okay. The knowledge of the field of activities and the knower of the activities described by various sages in various Vedic writings, especially in the Vedanta Sutra, and it is present with all reasoning as to cause and effect. The five great elements, okay, the five great, that is Pancha Mahabhut, which are Pancha Tattva, or we can say that is earth, water, fire, air, ether. Okay, we have read that sloka, right? Bhumir apo analo vayu kham mano buddhi revacha ahankara itiyam me bhinna prakriti ashtada. So five great elements. Then the false ego, intelligence, that is mithya ankar, and also buddhi and mind, mano. Okay, the unmanifested, the 10 senses, which includes the five sensory organs, the mind, okay, and also the your hands, legs, and all those things. The mind, the five sense objects, that is the sight, then your smell, taste, and all those things. Desire, hatred, happiness, distress, aggregate, the life systems and convictions. These are all considered in summary to be the field of activities and its interaction. So these are the things which are present in the field, means which are present in our body. Okay, that is what is being explained by Lord Krishna over here. महाभूतानि अहंकारो बुद्धिर अव्यक्तमेव च इंद्रियाणि दशैकं च पंचचेन्द्रिय गोचरा इच्छा द्वेष सुखम दुःखम संघातश्चेतना धृति एतास् क्षेत्रं समासेन साविकारम उदाहृतम्. So these are the shlokas for the previous one. Okay. Now here Prabhupada explains there are 6 changes in our body. See, first the body is born, then it grows, it stays, it produces byproducts, okay, then it begins to decay, and at the last stage it vanishes. Okay, therefore the field is a non-permanent thing, meaning this body is a it is a temporary thing. Okay, while our soul, that is the knower of the field, is permanent. However, Kshetrajna is different. Okay. Now see, this is a very nice analogy. Okay, I think I have explained you this before in 3rd chapter also, if I remember. Okay, so let us revise. Okay, that there are see, first this entire thing represents the this entire thing represents the represents how the body is made. Okay, the first are the 5 horses. Okay, 5 horses are the 5 senses. Okay, then the ropes that are pulling it is the mind, or the body is the mind. Okay, then the mind is controlled by a charioteer, that is the mind is being controlled by a charioteer, which is the intelligence. Okay, in this case it is Lord Krishna. Then the chariot itself, in which the passenger and everybody is traveling, is represents the body. Then the passenger, which is in this case Arjuna, represents the soul. And then there is a witness, that is Krishna, who represents the super soul. Okay, so 5 senses, 5 horses represent the senses. The ropes, the rope that is holding them represents the mind. The charioteer represents the intellect. The entire chariot represents the body. The person sitting on the chariot, means who is traveling in the chariot, represents the soul. And the charioteer himself and Lord Krishna himself represents the eyewitness, or the super soul, Paramatma, which is present in our body. Now, what is knowledge? I explained you. Knowing the difference between matter and spirit, means knowing the difference between body and the soul. Now see, these are the three kinds of bodies we have. Okay. One is the gross body, okay, which consists of all the gross elements. That is the five elements which you have: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. Okay. Then we have the subtle body, okay, which consists of the mind, intelligence, and the false ego. And at the end, we have the soul, which is always Satchidananda. Sat means eternal, Chit means full of knowledge, and Ananda means full of bliss. Now, Krishna explains various qualities, okay, in these four shlokas, okay. He says that humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance. Okay, anybody would like to read this? Hare Krishna. Someone please read.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity, approaching a bona fide spiritual master. Prabhuji, should I read that line also? Steadiness, self-control, renewation of the objects of sense gratification, absence of false ego, the perception of the evil of birth, death, old age, and disease, detachment, freedom from entanglement with children, wife, home, and the rest. Even mindless amid pleasant and unpleasant events, constant and unalloyed devotion to me, aspiring to live in a solitary place, detachment from the general mass of people, accepting the importance of self-realization and philosophical search for the absolute truth. All these I declare to be knowledge, and besides this, whatever there may be is ignorance. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Okay. So all these qualities are being explained by Lord Krishna, that all these things, see, by the virtue of knowledge, you get all these qualities, okay. Humility, pridelessness, and all these qualities you get by the virtue of knowledge, and that knowledge is being given to us by Lord Krishna, okay. Now I shall explain you the knowable, knowing which will taste the eternal. Okay. Anybody would like to read? If nobody is there, Devyang Prabhu, you can continue. Anybody else? If anybody else wants,
Prabhuji, can I read?
yes.
Prabhuji, can I read?
Yes.
I shall now explain the knowledgeable, knowing which you will taste the eternal. This is beginningless and it is subordinate to me. It is called Brahman, the spirit, and it lies beyond the cause and effect of this material world. BG 13.30. Prabhuji?
Yes, continue.
Everyone, everywhere are his hands and legs, his eyes and faces, and he hears everything in this way. The supersoul exists. BG 13.14. The supersoul is the original source of all senses, yet he is without senses. He is unattached, although he is the maintainer of all living beings. He transcends the mode of nature, and at the same time he is a master of all modes and material nature. Bhagavad 13.15.
Okay. So basically, these three verses describe the super soul. Okay, that the super soul he lies beyond the material world. Every, he has, he has his, this is the inconceivable potency of the Supreme Lord, which we call as achintya bheda tattva, bheda abheda tattva. Okay, so what does this mean is that, inconceivable potency is that, like, Krishna is in the material world, but at the same time he's not in the material world. Now, see, by ordinary means, you cannot understand all these things. That's why it is called achintya bheda tattva. That is inconceivable potency of the Lord. That which cannot be conceived by our ordinary minds. Okay. So, this is, see, here he's the original origin of all senses, yet he is without senses. So how do you understand this? So this is the this is the, this is the unconceivable potency of the Lord, where basically everything is spiritual in the context of Lord Krishna. Okay, some people say that Krishna is nirguna. That means he doesn't have any qualities. But we see that Rupa Goswami has explained about 64 qualities of the Supreme Lord. So how does he know? Because Krishna, the Shastras say that he's nirguna, so no qualities. But there it means no material qualities. So he has, all his qualities are spiritual qualities. Okay. So due to the spiritual things, it is very difficult to understand all these things. That's why we need to go under and take shelter of Guru to understand these things. Okay. So and now these are the further shlokas which talk about the super soul, that he exists inside and outside the body. He is subtle beyond the power of material senses. He is far away, but he is near to all. So even though he's, now how do you understand this? He is in the spiritual world originally, but he is very near to us because he is present in our hearts as the super soul. Okay. So he is the maintainer of every living entity, and it is understood that he only devotes everything and he only develops everything. He is the source of light in all luminous objects. He is beyond darkness of matter and is unmanifested. He is knowledge. He is the object of knowledge, and he is only the goal of knowledge. He is situated in everyone's heart. Okay. So by understanding Krishna, we get knowledge. Okay. Then by how do you try to understand? He is the object of knowledge, and he is only the goal of knowledge. Okay. So see, how do you attain bhakti? See, what is the goal of bhakti yoga? To attain to attain the association of Lord Krishna. But how do you get to that stage? By chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And Hare Krishna Mahamantra is nothing but name of Lord Krishna. And Nam Guna Rupa Leela, that is name, fame, and and his pastime is not different from Lord Krishna. So by chanting Hare Krishna, we are basically associating with Krishna and trying to attain the goal of the knowledge. Okay. So he is only the object of knowledge, and he is only the goal of knowledge, and he is situated in everybody's hearts. Okay. Now there are three modes of material nature: Satya Gun, Rajagun, and Tamogun. That is goodness, passion, and ignorance. Okay. So these three modes we are going to learn in detail in the next chapter. Okay. So I'm not going to explain much right now. Okay. Now this is also a very beautiful picture which explains how, we are in complete misery, but still we are not seeing the hand of God which is trying to help us. Okay. So see, this elephant represents our past karma, which is pulling the tree. Okay. And the snake represents the future karma. Okay. Or our past karma are also binding us, and as soon as the tree falls down, tree represents the present life. Okay. So where is it? Yes. So tree represents the present life. Okay. So as soon as our present life is gone, we will be facing our future karma. Okay. Then the white and black night represents the day and night, which is eating our present life. Okay. And the honeycomb represents the little pleasure that we get in the material world. Okay. The little pleasure we get by the material activities. Okay. And to protect all of us from this situation, Krishna is giving his hand. but we are not accepting the hand of Lord Krishna, okay? Because we are so busy in engaging to get these silly little material pleasures, which is temporary and at the end causes misery, okay? In 5th chapter, it's told, Yehi samsparsha ja bhoga dukha yonava evate adi antavant kaunteya nanteshu rabate buddhaha. That the intelligent person does not engage in such material pleasures, because first of all it is temporary and at the end it is going to cause misery, okay? So it's like, see, there is a very good analogy that Srila Prabhupada tries to explain us, okay? That how do you understand material pleasures, okay? It's like trying to get, see, there is, let us say there is a drop of honey at the sharp edge of the knife, okay? And we want to get that pleasure, okay? But the thing is that while we are, trying to lick that honey, our tongue also comes in contact with the sharp edge. So it causes bleeding, and and then we realize, oh no, that is so much misery, okay? Means it's like trying to get that honey from the sharp edge of the knife, okay? That ultimately there will be misery, but that little sense of honey that we'll get, that is what people are going after, okay? Now, what is nature? Nature, okay, this is an analogy about Atma and Paramatma. It talks about that how one bird is busy engaging in eating and the other bird is just witnessing everything, okay? So similarly, our Atma, that is the soul in the form of body, does so many activities, and Paramatma is just witnessing everything, okay? But the Atma is not looking back to Paramatma and saying that, oh, I want to come with you back to Godhead, okay? Just like how we are very busily engaged in material activities that we don't, look back towards God and, try to realize and understand the process of devotional service, okay? Nature is said to be the cause of all material activities and effect, whereas the living entity is cause of various sufferings and enjoyments in the world, okay? It's the nature which causes all this, is the cause and effect of all material activities, while the living entity is the person which suffers or enjoys the various things, okay? Now, this purport Srila Prabhupada explains that the Supreme Lord is so kind that, he's waiting for us, that, millions and millions of births we have taken, and still we haven't realized that we have to go back to Godhead, okay? So, he accompanies us in every soul that we pass through, okay? Every body we pass through, he accompanies us, waiting for that one moment where we look back towards God and actually try to attain the supreme abode, try to attain love for the Supreme Lord. So this is one very important sloka which talks about super soul, that the Supreme Lord as super soul is the supreme proprietor who exists as overseer and permitter. So he permits all the activities, okay? Now you may say that means Krishna permits all wrongdoing also, means which all people do. So how does he do? Why he shouldn't he stop us? It's like, see, a father and a son, okay? Let us say a son, even though he has some, he has some uh, the son wants to eat ice cream, but the father knows that if he eats ice cream, already has cold, and maybe the disease might worsen, okay? But and the father is trying to explain that you should not do these type of activities, but the son is not listening. Only the son is saying that no, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, okay, at any cost, okay? So now what father does, helplessly he gives that thing. So similarly, just like that, even the super soul inside us is trying to say that we should not do these things, but we are so stubborn and determined to do the sinful activity, that helplessly the super soul has to permit all those activities. Okay, but at the end we also get the, just like us after eating the ice cream, the child also might have to suffer from more severe cold. Okay, so similarly the soul might have to suffer from the reactions of the sinful activities. Okay, one who understands this philosophy concerning the material nature is sure to attain liberation. It will not take birth here again, and regardless of his present position. Okay, so this is the benefit of knowing this knowledge. Okay, now here also Krishna talks that we should see, those who are not conversant in spiritual knowledge should begin the worship upon hearing about him from others. Okay, so here also Krishna emphasizes that we should take shelter under a bona fide spiritual master, and then we should try to understand the knowledge of Supreme Lord. Okay. So see, here also Krishna says where whatever is in existence, both moving and non-moving, is only the combination of field of activities and the knower of the field. Basically, it's all combination of matter and spirit in simple terms. Okay. Sama sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram vinashyat swa avinashyantam ya pashyati sa pashyati. That one who sees the super soul accompanying the individual soul in all the bodies, who understand that neither the soul nor the spirit super soul within the destructible body is ever destroyed, actually sees. Okay, so by the eyes of knowledge, a person can see that how the super soul is accompanying the soul in every body of the soul, in every individual soul, and he understands that the soul and the super soul both are permanent and they can never be destroyed. Actually sees, meaning he has the knowledge, he has the true vision of knowledge. One who sees super soul equally present everywhere in all living entities does not degrade himself by the mind. Thus, he approaches the transcendental destination. So, one person who has the vision of knowledge, and by that virtue of his knowledge, he can see the super soul in all living bodies. He will never discriminate between people. Okay. So, it's like the love is the same, but the treatment might be different. Okay. So, to a Brahmana, he might, talk about the spiritual activities. To a, to a low person like animal, he might try, he might give different treatment. But he sees that everyone has an individual soul, which is a servant of Lord Krishna. Okay. यथा भूता पृथक भावम एकस्थम अनुपश्यति तत एव च विस्तरम ब्रह्म संपद्यते तदा. That one who can see all activities performed by the body, which is the creation of the material nature, sees that the self does nothing, actually sees. Okay, so all material activities are done by the body. Okay, and the self, that's the soul, actually does nothing, actually sees. Okay, when one sees various bodies of living entities arise due to different desires of the individual soul and does not actually belong to soul itself, actually sees. Okay, so here all these shlokas actually explain about the vision of knowledge. Those whose vision of eternity can see the soul is transcendental, eternal, and beyond the modes of material nature, despite contact with material body. Oh Arjuna, the soul neither does anything nor is entangled. Okay, so here also Krishna talks about the Satchidananda nature of the supreme of the soul. Okay. The sky, due to its subtle nature, does not mix with anything, although it is all pervading. Similarly, the soul situated in Brahman vision does not mix with the body, though situated in the body. So just like the sky, okay, it's subtle, okay. It's like, see, it's like sky is a subtle thing, okay. And it's not like anybody can touch clouds, or it's like a gross thing, okay. It's a subtle thing, and it does not mix with anything, although it is present all over the earth, okay. So similarly, the soul does not mix with the body, even though it is situated in the body, okay. So it doesn't it's basically, in other terms, it is not affected by the material things. It is always spiritual, okay. So just like the sun alone illuminates the entire universe, so similarly, the soul within the body illuminates the entire body with consciousness. So what makes the body conscious? It is the presence of the soul that makes the body conscious. Kshetra kshetragna yorepam antaram jnana chakshusa bhuta prakriti moksham cha ye viduryanti te param. That one who knowingly sees the difference between body and the owner of the body can understand the process of liberation from the bondage, attains the supreme good, okay. Now see, this is also very nice saying by Srila Prabhupada, that all our material qualifications are like big zeros. Adding Krishna is putting one before all these zeros. Okay. So basically, whatever material qualifications are we have, it's all temporary. Okay. It will are like zeros. Okay. How many ever zeros you put, the value will ultimately remain zero. But if you put a one before the zero, it's like just like how if you are adding Krishna to your life, then all these material qualifications will become actually useful, and it is putting like one before all these zero, and you see the value becomes extremely big, okay. Everything that emanates, everything that exists emanates from Lord, means it is basically here Srila Prabhupada is saying that everything is a part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. Now, this we saw in the 5th chapter, okay, that the peace formula, that Krishna is the supreme, or your Bhoktaram Yagnatapasam, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, Suhridam Sarvabhutanam, Jnatva Mam Shantim Richati. That Krishna is the supreme enjoyer of everything, Krishna is the supreme controller, and Krishna is our only well-wishing friend. Okay. Krishna is God, the supreme personality of Godhead. He is a person and like the soul. So with this, let us conclude the chapter. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, everyone. So now I'll be sharing the attendance link. In case you have any doubts, please ask me. Okay. Okay. Let us conclude the class by saying वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय।